looks like that's going to move all out to sea very soon, though. There's a brief thing here right as this was moving offshore.
All right. I'm here.
That's what we've got
there
on,
is an event going on in Oklahoma, Texas, and all that. If you hear in the background, that's Ryan Hall's live stream going on right now.
Supercell here in Oklahoma, and we're starting to see some new storms form down here in Texas, and we're going to see this whole corridor right here light up with supercells as they move east, and anything that can remain discrete as we get closer to sunset and as that low-level jet increases will likely become at least somewhat tornadic. So that is what we are looking at.
Is it what happened earlier today?
Today, we've got Sam with us. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Ryan. I just wanted to pop in and let you know that we are seeing pictures of the tornado coming out of Lawton. We can't show them just because we haven't gone through and made sure it's all right with people who have taken those photos yet. But the tornado is still on the ground, to our knowledge, still causing damage. Caleb is convinced that there are quite a few buildings that are completely destroyed or close to it. So he's on the way to go see what he can do for the people that are still there. But right now it's a very dangerous situation in Lawton. You don't want to be anywhere near that storm. You want to be taking shelter.
People in Lawton, do not hide over an underpass. An overpass, whatever it's called. Do not hide under an overpass. That's the most stupidest thing you would do.
I'm starting to see some of these the pictures of the tornado now. Once again, we're unsure if that's still on the ground, but we're going to assume that it is because we do have a tornado warning, and we want to make sure that everybody respects this polygon and is in their safe spot from Lawton all the way over to Latita, Bethel, and Central High.
Central.
This kind of storm is going to have several opportunities to produce tornadoes today. We're going to see this likely cycle. We're going to see another shot at another tornado forming here soon. And then we're going to see more cells form on top of that. So first tornado warning of the day for this area. And I think we're going to see a lot more. But that's not the only threat today. In fact, the main threat today is going to be hail and damaging wind as far as like the amount of people that end up seeing, this stuff. Hail, damaging wind, that's going to be the main thing. We're talking about 80 to 90 mile an hour winds for a lot of people, and hail larger than softballs. Larger than softballs. We've already had a bunch of destructive severe thunderstorm warnings today. And I wanted to show you guys, we're expecting DVD-sized hail. And Ryan already showed us what a DVD looked like.
For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. The storm has the potential to cause serious injury and significant property damage. This is a dangerous storm, capable of producing large hail driven by severe winds.
No, the hail's not going to be
Seek shelter now inside a sturdy structure and stay
Small-sized hail is destructive. Okay, this is ruining your home, your car, and like totally. Now, almost double that, and that's what you've got for some medium-sized hail possible with these storms today, all the way down towards Dallas. And I don't know if we'll see a record-breaking hailstone or not. That's indicated here on the hailometer. The largest U.S. hailstone, 8 inches in South Dakota, and 20.
Was Ryan Hall now selling hailometers?
What's the difference there? If you look at that outermost ring on the hailometer there, I don't know if we'll see anything like that today, but it's not off the table. DVD-sized hail, yeah, possible. It is possible.
Mobile homes will be heavily damaged. Expect considerable damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles.
Yeah, so if you just now tuned in, we just had a tornado near Lawton.
Tornado near Lawton? Tornado near Lawton.
It was brief. I'm not convinced that that's still on the ground, but it very well could be. And it could also be seen a new one trying to form right here. So you got to be watching that closely, okay, for an oil city or central high.
Prepare
And yeah, it's not just the Oklahoma area that's experiencing these storms today. We are also concerned, I guess you could say, about Texas.
Let me get a better radar.
Nothing really big popping off just yet. There is a little sail that's trying to pop off here northeast of Abilene. We got some more down here near San Saba and Santa Ana in Texas as well. A lot of significant severe weather happening up here near Kansas and the Oklahoma border, though. Near Meade and Dodge City, we're getting a lot of 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts reports and 1 to 2 inch hail reports. And then we've got that tornado warning way over here in Florida, which I do believe that is no longer a problem for land. However, there's probably a really impressive water spout ongoing.
Sorry for the picture being wrong. I don't have a chance to fix it.
Severe weather happening out here in the panhandle of Florida as well. We actually had a decent chance today of some tornadoes in this region. I don't think we've seen much activity there, but Storm Chaser Brad Arnold is actually out there right now. And if we need to cut to him for whatever reason, if something starts happening, we will. Right now, everything's pretty tame.
We cannot find any good radars right now, so you just got to listen.
There must be a 3D object to compare that to. I don't know. My goodness, we've got Austin Chapman back with the gifts. Thank you so much for the 10 gift, Austin. Everybody say thank you, Austin.
Move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. This is a dangerous storm, capable of producing large hail driven by severe winds.
Rapid, low-level measure development near Boston. Lots of storm chasers are talking about the rapid growth
a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 5:45 p.m. Central Daylight.
Right over the town of Locke.
I already hearing hitting on windows, so we might have to move out of this room in a couple minutes, meaning I won't be able to charge my computer for that long, so hopefully
coming
the
back
stream ain't
over
that
radar.
long.
Still not seeing anything that screams new development as far as tornadoes go.
What was that?
But we'll keep watching this supercell right here as we keep an eye on all of
Severe
that.
thunderstorm! Severe thunderstorm!
I don't know how long it'll be before we get Caleb back. But we still don't have his feed right now. And then Hunter is in Comanche County, Oklahoma.
Baseball size hail. Any animals outdoors will get hurt.
This storm as well. Yeah, Hunter's down here. You see my cursor moving down there? That's where Hunter is. And then Ryan is in the storm. But I think we lost his feed a moment ago.
Let me get a better... Let me get my display capture.
If I can't, man, this whole area here is without service. Oh, Hunter, whenever you get a chance, get back with me. Let me know what's going on, man. This storm is blowing up like crazy. We've got Caleb and Ryan in there, but they both can't reach me. I guess the service is pretty bad. What are you seeing out there? Let me know.
Game capture?
So we'll give Hunter a couple seconds to respond, and then we'll hand it over to Sam if he doesn't get right back with us. But we're going to try to make sure they don't talk over each other. Hey, Kathy, thank you so much.
I don't even hear what's going on. Genesis, I think it's going through a cycle. I'm going to probably make my way over to Duncan, Oklahoma to get ready for the storm.
Oh, Duncan?
And go back to the back storm, which I can actually see a pretty small wall on it right now.
Okay, so Hunter is talking about how the storm is cycling, and he's going to give us another view of this. And then Caleb's wanting to come through as well. But Sam, go ahead, Sam.
Hey Ryan, I'm just popping back in to let you know we have trained storm spotters and or emergency officials who have said that The rotation in Lawton is off the ground. The tornado is no longer touching down. That was at 45 in East Lee. But despite that, we have a lot of people either with entrapment cases, either within buildings or in cars. I think it's a good time to remind people that your car is not a safe place to be in a storm like this, especially around power lines, big trees with large branches. You still need to be sheltering in place. This is a dangerous storm, but the rotation is no longer on the ground.
Rotation no longer on the ground. I'm relaying this message from any message you get from me will be from Ryan Hall. So, because I do not have a good website.
Yeah, go ahead, Caleb. This is from Jonathan on Twitter. By the way, guys, team, I'm just now getting into Ryan's stream text.
Hey, Ryan, so I'm just out now.
My phone in my pocket.
It does seem like we have another large wall cloud developing. There definitely is a little bit of dirt or debris getting spun up right now, directly in front of me. This is directly to my west from where I am at Interstate 44. I'm going to try and move into a position to be able to get you guys a good shot of this storm as it comes towards me.
Okay, so that is Caleb B. Giving us an update on his situation. He's near Lawton, Oklahoma as well. And this picture is from Jonathan Castile, sent to me from Oklahoma near Lawton. I mean, this is what the thing looks like, and that is an ominous.
I'm gonna not mute myself. I'll be walking out of this room.
So
y'all have Ryan Hall to listen to.
Let's come back.
Every credit from this video goes to Ryan Hall.
Let's keep looking at this here.
Yeah.
Right now, if you're just now tuning in, we do have Comanche, Cotton, and Stevens counties under tornado warnings in Oklahoma. The one in Florida has been allowed to expire. Oops, I keep accidentally hitting the wrong button here. Where am I going? Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is a live look from inside of the core of this storm from Ryan Scholl.
I cannot get a physical picture to put down as the background, so I will change that later when I publish this video. So the background's going to be wrong. You already know that.
I don't know if he's in the hail core or not, but if he can hear me over that, I'm going to try to talk to him. So give me just a second. Ryan, we are live on the air, looking at you here on YouTube. Man, it looks like you're going through a heck of a storm there. Why don't you give us an update on what you're seeing out there? All right, so we'll give him some time to get back with you.
Well, I see I'm getting coupled with golf ball.
Okay, there is hail.
Ball side down at the moment. I took a wrong turn, so I'm heading right through the hail core. I have to get rid of golf balls at the moment, though.
Okay, all right, so there's an update from Ryan. And we still don't have Caleb B. Riley, if we can, is he not successfully sending a feed, or are we just not receiving it? Does it look like he's sending it on his end? Because we might just need to refresh it on our end.
I've refreshed it. I think there's just no cell service.
Okay, all right. So we're going to wait to hear back from Caleb. And then we've also got some storm chasers down there in Texas as well. We've got Freddie McKinney in Texas, and we have Brian Imfinger down there in Texas as well. So we do expect some stuff to kind of pop off later today in Texas. And let's actually hear from Freddie here as he's watching the storm pop off there in Texas.
How you doing? I'm doing good.
Freddie, this is Ryan. We're live on YouTube.
I am already live.
Fantastic view you've got in front of you. We'd love to hear from you. What are you seeing? What's your plans for today?
The picture is wrong. It's still the volcano picture, but it's the weather. I have to change it later.
Give us some inside baseball on what's going on the ground out there today. And then as soon as he replies, Riley,
Hi, Ryan. We're in Perryton, Texas right now, and the storm has been intensifying here over the last 30 minutes. We've got a lowering just to the west side of Perryton, but we're still waiting to see if any more concentrated areas of rotation develop here.
Okay, so that was an update from Freddie. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Ryan. I just wanted you to know that Freddie is up there in Texas, not down there in Texas.
Oh, okay. That makes
also,
sense.
The feed you are looking at is Brian M. Finger, and not Freddie.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. They are both in Perryton, though. I believe, from what I can tell. But this is, let me show you, let me cut to the radar real quick. This is where Perryton, Texas is. It is up in the panhandle of Texas, so it is up there in Texas rather than down there. But there's obviously a really interesting storm forming here, and I think that we might actually see a new warning with this pretty soon, because it looks extremely interesting.
A new tornado
radar has
been
been on the feed here from Brian M. Finger. We just got a brand new tornado warning for Comanche and Cotton counties in Oklahoma, and that's actually going to be for our storm that we've been watching for a while, a little bit farther to the south. So this is up here in Texas, Perryton, Texas. Keep that in mind. Okay, that's to the north and west of the storm that we've been watching so hard. We're going to watch that one very hard, though. Riley, holler at me if there's anything that happens with that. As we go back down to look at our new tornado warning. So we just got a brand new tornado warning that includes Temple, Walters, and Geronimo in Oklahoma. And that's going to be an observed or radar confirmed tornado warning.
I'm gonna say Tulane.
Let's see here.
I'm gonna
confirmed a tornado.
Might get a better radar
we've
coming
got a
up.
tornado down once again with this storm just to the south and west of Geronimo. And guys, we have a big tornado developing over here. Okay, things are getting pretty serious now. Wow.
There is a tornado forming on the...
This is a classic supercell, big-time hook echo. We've got a major RFD or inflow coming into this thing now.
West side of Duncan.
That looks to me like it's going to try and produce a potentially big-time tornado as it moves over towards Duncan. Riley, are you having problems getting updates on GR?
Okay, it's right there. You're getting report. This damn person is covering.
Okay, then it's below us then. It's not close to us.
Update about Brian F. Finger. It just turned back. He does have a tornado on the ground. The ground circulation that I saw on.
Okay, so this is up in Texas. This is Perryton, Texas.
Oh, Texas cam, but I don't have the cam. So don't.
Correct, yeah.
Listen to a little bit, but yeah.
Warning yet. I'm sure that we will get one soon. But guys, this is a live look at near Perryton, Texas. We've got a big time rotating area of the storm. We've seen it make contact with the ground a couple times. And this is, I don't know exactly how close this is to the town, but it is, it's pretty
tornado
close.
Warning again? Another tornado warning.
Are we sure that Brian and Fingers in Perryton and Freddie and Brian, are they both in the same place? Pretty much. Do you know, Riley? Okay, yeah, we just got the tornado warning for Perryton as well. So the next, okay, yeah. So let me cut to Freddie's camera here. There you go, guys. It's a live view from Storm Chaser Freddie McKinney in Perryton, Texas. That's another vantage point of the tornado. So this is, we're looking at it from a little bit of a distance here, and then we're looking at it from inside of the town. This is live from Storm Chasers Freddie McKinney and Brian and Finger as a tornado is forming really close to the town of Perryton, guys. I think this is on the northwestern side of town, if I'm not mistaken. The radar up here is not very good. We're in a little bit of a radar hole. But from what I can tell, this is going to come into the northwestern side of the town of Perryton, which is really unfortunate because this is looking like it's getting stronger. Looks like we're starting to see more of the circulation here making contact with the ground. Yeah, you can see debris now. You can see debris coming off the ground here from Storm Chaser Brian Finger's feed. We do have Freddie on the hook, so let's see if we can get a hold of him. Freddie, we see that thing. I know you're busy. Whenever you get a chance, give us an update on what's going on there. What's your location? Is it getting bigger? What are you seeing? Wow. Guys, this is live right now. And the circulation certainly looks like it's getting bigger on radar. And unfortunately, this is right next to the town of Perryton, and if it's not in the town already. So Freddie is in the town, okay? So we should be seeing a pretty good vantage point here very soon if you can turn around for us what this thing looks like and what its proximity is to the actual town. Okay, Riley, go ahead.
Hey Ryan, I'm pretty sure right before you switched to Freddie's, you could see that tornado is very much in town.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yep, right there, you can see it. This is a very bad situation.
Kyle, take Riley's. Yeah, there you go. Okay, this is live, guys. This is, oh no, this is a bad situation. This is in the town of Harrington, Texas right now.
Harrington, Texas is getting hit by a tornado. Harrington, Texas is getting hit by a tornado.
Getting the shelter here. That is a monster tornado. You see power flashes there. We're looking at Harrington, Texas. I'm going to once again give you guys a little bit of some insight on the mesoscale data here. Okay, so this is on the northwestern side of town from what I can tell. So if you know where Leatherman Park is, this is around where the tornado is, north and west of Highway 15, but literally paralleling Highway 15, going up towards the Budget Inn and also the Jim's Tire Services. And if you guys know where the Western Hot Oil Service is, Texas AgriLife Extension Services, and all that stuff, that's essentially what we're looking at here. And here's another vantage point.
We got a strong tornado on the ground right now in Perryton doing damage.
Okay, strong tornado on the ground doing damage right now in Perryton. If you're just now tuning into this, hopefully we've got people in and around this town that are watching. This is a life-threatening situation. Okay, this is not one you can play around with. This is a big, bad Texas tornado, and it is definitely doing significant damage. And it is honestly a deadly situation. As this is it's going slow too. That's one of the things that I don't like about this. It's not moving really fast. It looks like it's going to cut right through the northern side of town. It's going to spend a longer time over one specific area than what you would like to see, giving it more opportunities to cause damage. So you've got to get underground if you're in Perryton. Once again, if you guys know where Brillhart Avenue is, that's pretty much where this thing is paralleling. And it's going to, all of these places from Ninja Sushi Steakhouse all the way up towards the Weldon parts of Perryton. And of course, even as far north and east as the Marylebone Oil area, that is where we are looking at right now. Go ahead. Actually, I don't think, Riley, did you change the lights? I might have just saw the red for the confirm there. But,
yeah, that was just a confirmed warning.
Okay, all right. So, guys, if you're just now tuning in, this is a live look at a large tornado impacting the Perryton, Texas area right now. Freddie's feed is still frozen from what I can tell, so we'll see if maybe that needs a refresh. But we got another live view of it right here from Brian M. Finger in Perryton, Texas. Unfortunately, it does look like several structures took damage here. I don't know the extent of that damage just yet. But once again, unfortunately, I do think we're going to hear some really bad news coming out of Perryton over the next little bit. And guys, just for some context, this is what Perryton looks like. Riley, if we can get Brian M. Finger in the number one position while I go back to radar. This is what Perryton looks like on radar. We've got this hook. This is where the tornado is. And if I put this into motion, you'll see one of the reasons why we're so concerned about this is because once again, it's not really moving that fast. So however much time this spends over a given area, it's probably going to be longer than what we would like to see, and that's going to allow it to do even more damage. So you got to get underground if you're in the path of this thing. Eventually it will move on off to the east, okay, and that's going to put it in the path of Twitchell, Untoon, and Booker. If this thing continues for that long, you've got to get underground all along Highway 15, the area between Highway 15 and Highway 377, or you've got to get into the most interior room of your home and put as many walls between you and the outside world as possible, so that we can hopefully get through this okay. The way you're going to get hurt in a situation like this is from debris falling on you, okay? So you got to protect that head. You got to protect that head. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Ryan, I need to bring your attention back to Oklahoma. There's a large tornado on the ground. You'll be able to see the couplet of that near Oil City. Unfortunately, it does look like this is going to go right through Oil City. Caleb is confirming there's a large and extremely dangerous tornado on the ground with this storm. Unfortunately, we do not have it speed up. Also, I just want to point out, also, Geo Brian has figures street. There's very, very severe damage in the town.
Wow, guys, okay. So yeah, this is some of the damage in Perryton, Texas. I'm going to go back over to Oklahoma now and try to get an update on what's going on over there. For some reason, we're having I'm having some problems on my end getting radar updates, but we do have another large tornado on the ground over here near Oil City in Oklahoma. So we've got two situations. We've got Oklahoma, we've got Texas. We're very concerned about Oklahoma too. So if you're in Oil City or Duncan in Oklahoma, you got to take shelter now. Here's what that looks like. I got a radar update for you. Huge couplet. And yeah, unfortunately, guys, this is going to be another tornado on the ground here. So go ahead, Riley.
Hey Ryan, if you go to Caleb's feed, you're about to have a very, very large tornado cross in front of you. There is debris. He is being hit by debris falling out of the sky. This is our storm in Oklahoma.
Okay, thank you, Riley. So right now, guys, we've got two tornadoes on the ground. Okay, we've got a tornado in Oklahoma, near Duncan and Oil City. We also have a tornado in Texas, up there near Perryton, Texas. And we got a ton of damage coming through on Brian's feed, and we've also got a lot of damage being saw through Freddie's feed as well. I'm just going to pull up the multi-view here so you guys can see everything at once. Unfortunately, guys, it does look like some populated areas are taking some direct hits here today. I was hoping that we wouldn't see a whole lot of that, because this is such a rural area, but the storms have found their way. Once again, Oil City in Oklahoma. You guys have got to take shelter right now. Wow. All right, I'm going to come back up here to the Texas cell and give you guys another look at that on radar as well. Riley, if you got something, go ahead.
I do not.
Oh, okay. All right. I got to send it back. Blue. Okay, so if you're just now tuning in, just to hit it from the top. Okay, I don't want to get. I know we've got a lot of people just now tuning in. I don't want to have anybody come in on a confusing note, okay? So we've got a tornado happening in Texas up in the northern panhandle near Perryton. We saw the town get hit live here on the stream. We're going to give you some news.
Supposedly, the bad weather will leave my area at around 7.
Yeah, there's, as you can see, significant damage in Perryton, Texas. And then we've also got a tornado developing near Duncan, Oklahoma, which we are getting. A storm chaser is approaching that right now.
And there's
we also have an update.
And there's tornado forming near Duncan.
So go ahead, Sam.
Mobile homes will be
Hey Ryan, I just wanted to let you know that we are getting reports on the ground. We can't really see from the radar perspective, but south of Lawton, south of Geronimo, we are getting reports that there is or was a tornado on the ground, ripping some fences out of the ground. This is coming out of Comanche County. A firefighter has called in to let them know that at one point, may or may not still be on the ground, there was a tornado, which is probably what's prompting that tornado warning there to the west of Duncan. So we should keep our eyes on that one as well.
Butte County, Oklahoma has a tornado warning.
Sam for directing our attention over here, guys. We're zooming in on Oklahoma now. We had this tornado pop up over here in Oil City. It looks like that rotation has let up a little bit, but now we're concerned about this. There's another couplet in a very odd position here near Geronimo, south of Lawton in Oklahoma, potentially producing another tornado. We've got a lot of reports coming in of damage right now as this big cell is just spawning tornadoes like tentacles out of all kinds of different areas here. So everybody out in front of this thing needs to be taking shelter. We've got destructive severe thunderstorm warnings on it. We've got multiple tornado warnings. This thing, if you're in front of this storm at all, you've got to take shelter, okay? The destructive severe thunderstorm warning is nuts. Baseball-sized hail, 80-mile-an-hour winds, and a potential tornado. Okay, you don't want to be outside. You don't want to be anywhere other than in your safe spot for a storm like that. Okay. All right. So,
hey Ryan, there's a tornado on the ground right now.
Hey Ryan, do you copy?
I think Freddie's coming through. Yeah, go ahead, Freddie.
We have a landspout tornado on the ground south of Perryton right now on the screen.
Wow. Look at that. Unbelievable stuff. So the supercell that just caused the tornado, the damaging tornado in Perryton.
Make that twin landspout tornadoes. We got two on the ground.
Is now producing a landspout here near Perryton as well. So, I mean, the atmosphere is as primed as you'll ever see it right now for tornadoes. I mean, literally everything is spinning. Even just the like leftover clouds on the side of the storm, even that's spinning enough to make contact with the ground. I mean, this is nuts, guys. And that's what you see in there. Two land spouts. And I mean, it's something that you don't see every day. Two land spouts in the same storm that is, at least was just recently producing a very large tornado. Has been issued. Okay, so Perryton, Texas. The storm is mostly, for the most part, moving to the east of town now. But it took a long time for it to get through Perryton. So I'm really not looking forward to hearing about whatever kind of damage reports that we get out of that system. Okay, I do think Perryton took significant damage. I'm also worried about the areas just to the north and west of Oil City. So we're going to be watching this land spout unfold here while we get an update from Riley. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Ryan, so it does appear that our first tornado near Oil City has occluded, but it looks like there is a new area of rotation forming off to the west of Duncan. Now, assuming this follows the path of every other tornado we have seen this storm produce today, it would go right through the center of Duncan. So we need to be in our safe spots in Duncan.
Absolutely. If you're in Duncan, Oklahoma, guys, I can't tell you enough how dangerous this situation is. It's not very often that you see this much spin in the atmosphere. We've got tornadoes falling out of the sky left and right. You can see two, honestly, very picturesque versions of this danger right in front of you here in Texas, but we're also seeing a much more sinister version of this occur in Oklahoma in the form of the supercellular, larger tornado-producing system. So that's what we're looking at there. I do need to go back to radar. We'll check on Freddie's feed there intermittently. But our job today is to hopefully help people and try to get the warning out as quickly as possible. And yeah, big area of convergence right here near Duncan. Oklahoma, and like Riley said, if this follows the trend of every other tornado that we've seen today, this is unfortunately going to try to go through Duncan, or just hopefully just to the south, but there's a chance that it happens right here in the town, as the supercell is going to be able to spin up right here, and it's not moving very fast at all either. This is an incredibly dangerous situation unfolding before us. And let's get back over to our chaser cam. This is live from northern Texas. Once again, unbelievable views from Freddie McKinney here. Seriously unbelievable. We've already saw 3 or 4 tornadoes already today. One of those we know produced significant damage near Perryton, Texas. We're still waiting to hear some details on that. We also know about the situation near Oil City, Oklahoma, and now we are seeing a new tornado, we believe, formed near Duncan, Oklahoma, while we watch in North Texas, near Perryton once again, a landspout tornado take place. So let's come back over to the multi-view, and let's start breaking down the radar once again. And start getting into what's happening here. First of all, this storm in Oklahoma is extremely dangerous. There's 2 areas that I'm most concerned about as far as potential tornadoes go. One of them is going to be over here near Duncan. The other one's going to be just to the south and east of Geronimo. We have 2 big areas of convergence. They haven't really turned into a couplet yet that's capable of producing a new tornado, but we've seen it happen multiple times today. We think it can happen again.
I have so that going off, meaning it's going to get sample now, picking up the sound.
So you live right now?
Yes.
Tell everybody
Can they hear us?
Yes, you can hear us.
Is anyone
We've
on?
got a lot of confirmation.
Yes, 2 people.
Okay, so the lights just flashed there. That means we're getting ready to see some information. Yeah, there we go. We got a confirmed tornado on the ground now.
Can they hear this then?
Another warning there for portions of Texas and Oklahoma. That's going to be up here.
That's one of my friends on Discord.
That just went through Perryton. Okay, so that's an extension of that warning. Go ahead, Riley. What do you got?
So he's just going to
Hey Ryan, we did miss one very
Yes.
tornado warning.
I even checked it on my phone. You can check. You can check.
Monroe County, Michigan. Now, I think it's important to point out that this is near higher areas of population.
No, there's no way I could talk to him.
This could be a very impactful tornado.
He sometimes doesn't read chat. He sometimes doesn't read chat.
Over the Great Lakes, which like
No, that's Riley Dibble. I don't know who Riley Dibble is.
Yeah, that's crazy. And wow, there's actually another one that's coming off the lake here. I don't know if we've talked about this yet, but this is coming down into Toledo. Look at that, Lucas County, Ohio. Just now getting a tornado warning. What? A supercell sliding off of the Lake Erie here in Ohio. Potentially
Yeah.
A tornado near Toledo right now.
No, it's
So
gone
once
wild
again,
too.
hard to explain how odd this is to see. Definitely didn't expect to see this. Now, don't get me wrong, the forecast did call for, I believe, what was it, a marginal or slight risk up here today. We definitely knew there was going to be some severe thunderstorms, but this is a little weird. Near South Shore Park and Niles Beach, that's a very interesting looking couplet there. So if we're in the northeastern side of Toledo along the lake shore here, down towards Yondota, Lakemont Landing, or Howard Farms Beach, you got to take shelter. This is something that you got to take seriously. And then, of course, we've got that semi-water spout over Lake Erie as well, just to the south of Detroit. So we're going to have to be watching these storms closely as well as we go through the rest of the day. These are going to continue to cause problems in northern Ohio. So, yeah, we're going to be flying back and forth between Ohio, Oklahoma, Texas, and Florida. We had a Florida tornado warning just moments ago as well. This is, off the charts, active for June. This is maybe we would expect to see something sort of like this in May sometimes. But even that is a little bit weird. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan, go ahead and pull up Brian and figures.
Avoid windows.
Okay.
Brian and figure, I guess Brian and figure 2 and then back over.
New information. This this tornado warning has been upgraded.
Okay. So while we look at Freddie's feed here, you can see that we've got this. This is a live view. We've also got a live view of the damage in Perryton. This is live from a drone coming from Brian Enfinger right now. You can see that, the very significant damage there in Perryton, Texas. My goodness. And then on top of this, we're trying our best to relay all this information. There's so much happening. On top of this, we just got an upgraded warning, a confirmed tornado now in Duncan. Okay, Duncan, Oklahoma, confirmed tornado just south of Dixie Park. You guys have got to take shelter. You got to take shelter now because we've seen the damage that these things can do. Okay, this is no day to play around with. And look at this up close view of the tornado here in to the north and east of Perryton, Texas. I'm starting to become speechless at some of the stuff that we're seeing right now. This is live coming from, Freddie McKinney once again up here in the northern panhandle of Texas of really intense thunderstorm producing a landspout tornado there. And then, of course, we've got the damaging tornado down in Oklahoma as well. And I'm going to go back and inspect that warning up there in Ohio again. That it looked like, to me, like the last frame looked a little bit better. I'm hoping that doesn't turn into some huge, long track sort of deal. And right now, it doesn't really look like it is, but there still could be a tornado near Lakemont Landing and Howard Farms Beach in Ohio. Okay, so we're talking about Ohio, Oklahoma, and Texas now, all at the same time. What you're looking at on your screen is in Texas, in the northern panhandle, and now what you're looking at on your screen is damage to the town of Perryton, Texas, that we're seeing come in through Brian Enfinger's stream. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey Ryan, it is a little hard to see, but Hunter does have a large damaging tornado on the ground in Duncan.
Okay, so we've got another live feed to cut to here. Hunter's, this is near Duncan, Oklahoma. I think I just saw a power flash there. Let's see if I can get an update from him. Hunter, we're watching you live, man. What's going on down there? Do you see it? I don't know if that's the left edge of it there on the side or what.
Yeah, I'm still able to see the left edge of it, but it's mostly shrouded in rain. A couple moments ago, it was actually more visible and clearer. This appears to be a fairly large tornado on the ground, just inside of Duncan, right outside of Duncan.
Okay, guys, so there you go. We've got a big-time tornado on the ground in Duncan, Oklahoma. We've got a very large and dangerous supercell still producing tornadoes and landspouts up there in near Perryton, Texas, now to the east of Perryton. And then we also have a tornado warning in Ohio with a really good-looking couplet on it. Has been issued. So Lipscomb County and Ochiltree County in Texas now under a confirmed tornado warning as well. Up here near Perryton, this is our big cluster of tornado warnings up here in Texas. Let's analyze the velocity here. So the tornado that went through Perryton, that area of rotation is still there, and it's moving over towards Booker and Gaylord. You guys are under a tornado warning for the next 30 minutes. Stay in your safe spots. Now we've got a new tornado warning. This one's been observed as well for Barton Corners, Locust Grove, and Lipscomb in Texas. This is in the extreme northeastern Texas, okay? Or I guess you could say the northeastern panhandle of Texas, getting ready to move into Oklahoma. So right now, I mean, we could have 3 tornadoes on the ground at the same time and 2 more forming. Okay, we've got 7 warnings on the board. If any of you are under a tornado warning at all right now, I don't care what state you're in, multiple states are being impacted right now. You've got to be taking shelter. You've got to get into the most interior room of your home. Put as many walls between you and the outside world as possible, or preferably get underground. Okay? If you can't do that, then you gotta get, once again, barricade yourself as many walls between you and the outside world as possible. If you have a helmet, put that on. Okay, the number one way you're gonna get injured in a situation like this is by falling debris, hitting you in the head. You gotta put on the helmet. Sounds ridiculous, but it could literally save your life. If kids got a bicycle helmet, I know they do. You got the old football helmet, baseball helmet, whatever it is, grab it on your way to the bathroom, the closet, the storm cellar, the basement, whatever you can get to. And let's do whatever we can to protect our life and property here, okay? This is nuts. Not only do we have tornadoes, we've got monstrous hail flying around out there. Monstrous hail in and around Lawton. I mean, we've actually got the potential to see some DVD-sized hail today, which is it's nuts. It's nuts. I don't know how else to say it, but it's nuts. Let's see here. Here's we got some stuff from Michigan as well. This is happening in Michigan right now. Look at the hail. Looks like it snowed. This comes from His Glory Alone Radio. Thank you for sending this in. But remember, guys, don't go out in hail if you don't have to. You might get stuck in a situation like that, and your car's going to get all torn up. Okay. So once again, I just want to get everybody updated on what they're looking at. Okay. If you're just now tuned in, you've entered a very active stretch of coverage here, where we've got multiple tornadoes across the U.S. They're dropping out of the sky in multiple states, multiple areas. We've got softball to DVD size hailstones happening right now, and we've got significant damage in the town of Perryton, Texas, which I can show you live here through our Storm Chaser feed from Storm Chaser Brian Enfinger. Okay, so this is what it looks like in Perryton. We're not sure the exact extent of the damage, but we do know that it's bad. It looks like several structures completely destroyed, and we saw this happen live just moments ago through Freddie McKinney's feed, who both of these guys are still following this same sale. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Ryan, I want to draw your attention to Bayonet, Alabama. We have Brad Arnold there. His feet just got put in, unfortunately. He is in a little bit of a dead zone, but it does look like we are going to see a potential tornado here very soon.
Okay, all right. So add Alabama to the list
I can't let her run around because I still have
of places that we're keeping up with today. So we do have another storm chaser down here. You guys know Brad Arnold, the tornado sniffer. You know, on a day like today, whenever Brad Arnold is not in Oklahoma, there's got to be a good reason for it, right? And that's because the conditions are pretty favorable for some tornadoes near the coast here around Gulf Shores, Pensacola, Destin, in Florida today. Brad Arnold is on it. He is giving us a live view of what's going on down there, and we're going to see if a tornado forms here near Bayonet and Phillipsville, right along the border of Alabama and Florida, okay?
I walked like to the garage.
Let's get an update from Brad if we can.
I walked into the garage and I'm like, this is where you go.
Okay, still a little bit without service. Guys, I gotta drink water. I gotta get hydrated real quick. Give me just a second.
Take cover now. Move to a storm shelter, safe room, or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle,
and that's a reminder to all you guys as well, get hydrated. I think we're going to be here for a while. We're going to be covering this for several hours, as this is really just getting started. In fact, we haven't even seen any of the storms.
tornado was located 4 miles west of Coram, moving southeast at 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, SBC actually just recently issued a mesoscale discussion talking about Dallas. Okay, so the severe threat continues here for Dallas, all the way down to Burnett, Texas. More storms are going to pop up here.
I think should I go ahead and pull up his stream on my computer? Not stream his stream, but use his voice.
10, 11 p.m. tonight, maybe even longer than that.
I'm afraid he might copy and strike my video, so probably.
Okay, let's go back to the chaser view here, as Brian is sending us back up into the air and giving us an aerial view of the damage in Perryton. This is live right now. Live drone. What an incredible stretch of activity there. And I do want to emphasize how early we are in the event. We are just getting started. I do think that the last warning that we gave out specifically was for the Duncan area. It does look like that is recycling now.
Recycling.
Just to the south of Duncan, near Empire City and Meridian.
It's recycling.
Wow. Yeah, it looks like some very significant damage here in Perryton. It's hard to tell exactly what part of the town we're looking at here. But you can see on the left side of the screen, some of those buildings are completely demolished. Something's on fire over there. Look at that.
On the lowest floor of a sturdy building.
I don't know what that is.
Avoid windows. If you are outdoors in a mobile home.
Yeah, this is a live look at Perryton, Texas. We just saw it get hit by a tornado. And we are assessing the damage now.
Tornado watch number 307 remains.
It looks, from what I've seen, it looks pretty significant. Too early to talk about ratings or anything like that, but certainly nothing to balk at. And I'm sure search and rescue is ongoing now.
Including tornadoes, large hail and damage.
And we will continue to assess that damage and let you know more specific information about it momentarily. Right now, though, we've got to make sure we don't have anybody outside of their homes or, just wandering around between Empire City or Meridian, because I do believe a new tornado is forming here right now.
No tornado might be filmed.
This is something else. One heck of a severe weather setup. In June of all times, of all months, this could happen in.
Minor flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas. Fogging of water in urban or other areas is occurring or is imminent.
Yeah, that was Perryton, Texas.
Details at 4:51 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Doppler radar indicated heavy rain due to thunderstorms. Minor flooding is ongoing.
Just looking through Twitter here, just seeing if I can find any additional information. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Ryan, I was just talking to Hunter, and it sounds like we have the biggest fall cloud we have seen on this storm near Duncan yet with this new reso. So if this does go on the ground, there is a very good chance this might be the most dangerous tornado we've seen yet today.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Riley. So this is a look from Hunter's feed, and let's hear that from Hunter. Hunter, whenever you get a chance, give us an update, man. And then up there in Texas, once again, we still have Freddie's view as well. It looks like this one's going to try again.
Where a portion of southern Oklahoma, including the following county, Stevens. When? Until 8:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time.
A tornado in Ohio, yeah, let's go check
I'm trying to get turned around right now, but I've got a pretty large wall pile. I'm trying to get up until you guys can see it here in a second.
Okay, so we should be able to see that pretty soon here. Okay, yeah, Hunter's got a good view of it. But really quickly, let me check in on this tornado warning in Ohio. We had a really interesting looking storm come off the lake in Ohio. That rotation has let up a little bit, but it looks like it actually might be trying to reform a little bit farther to the south. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a new tornado warning at some point here for Oak Harbor and Port Clinton in Ohio. So we've got a very odd set of storms happening right now. We're watching Ohio, but right now I don't believe there's actively a tornado on the ground. We've just got the warning, but we're watching it very closely, okay? Severe storms up near Detroit as well. The tornado warnings that we do have are now back in Texas and Oklahoma. We've got the one over here in Texas that put down the big tornado that is causing all the damage that we've been seeing. That's moving over towards Booker right now. We got the newest tornado warning in Texas for Barton Corners and Lipscomb. And we've got also Locust Grove in that warning as well. And then if we come down here to the Oklahoma area near Duncan, this is where we see, there's a couple areas where a tornado could be happening here, but the most concerning one of those is right here near Harrisonsburg. So if I'm in Harrisburg or Santa Fe, or even Empire City or Comanche in Oklahoma, I am taking shelter right now. I am taking shelter right now. You want to take this seriously. Run, don't walk.
Expected hazards include 270 miles an hour wind gusts. This is a radar indicating threat.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's going to be bad. If that continues to look like that, that is going to be bad. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Ryan, some good news here. If you look at more tornado warnings in Oklahoma, it does look like if you look at that info notch, it is starting to heat itself. So hopefully this storm might choke itself out pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can see it here. See how it's getting kind of, you can see how this is getting sucked into the storm. That, first of all, that just tells you how hard the storm is pulling in. So that within itself is impressive, and it's concerning in the short term, right? Because we do see this big couplet here, but the saving grace might be that this cool air
Guys, I'm going to text my dad. I'll be back in a bit.
However, if that was to happen, it's going to take at least 10 minutes. And I think we are much less than 10 minutes away from seeing a very large tornado here. So it might be brief, but something's going to happen with that big area of rotation as this continues to get bigger and bigger.
Central Daylight Time. A confirmed tornado was located near Duncan, moving southeast at 25 miles an hour. Expected hazards included a damaging tornado and baseball-sized hail. A tornado has
and this is a live look at that.
Impact. Flying debris will be
in Stevens County, Oklahoma. Hunter is giving us a good look at where that storm is rotating. And right above Hunter's head is where that rain-cooled air is trying to sneak its way into that to stop the tornado from happening. So I don't know who's going to win that battle here, but we're about to see, and we're going to see it unfold right in front of our eyes through the Storm Chaser Hunter's feed.
Avoid windows.
Hey Ryan, will Georgia get any big storms tonight? Some this afternoon and evening in southern Georgia for sure. We're actually watching very closely some storms in Alabama, Georgia, and Florida right now. But we're talking about the extreme southern side.
New tornado warning has been issued.
And there you go. Just as we expected, Ottawa County and Sandusky County in Ohio now under a new tornado warning. So let's go fly over there to it.
Moving southeast at 30 miles an hour. Expected hazards include tornado
and show you that. Yep. So this is that new area of rotation we were talking about. That has now prompted a new warning here for Oak Harbor, Port Clinton, and all the way down to Whitmore, Ohio. So let me zoom out here just to give you some context. Yeah, I'm talking about Ohio. We're talking about Texas, Oklahoma, and Ohio right now, most significantly as far as the tornado situation goes right now. So if I'm in Oak Harbor all the way down to Port Clinton in Ohio, I'm taking shelter. Also got a new warning over here in Texas. 3-inch in diameter hail and a potential tornado moving towards Lipscomb. You got to take shelter. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Ryan, drawing your attention back to Alabama, it does look like we have a tornado on the ground there, or will be up.
Okay, so they're talking about these storms in Ohio.
Do it, man.
Let me check that.
I mean, Brian Arnold. Everybody's in Oklahoma. Yeah, the surprise was supposed to be Ohio, but now you turn around and Brad Arnold's in Alabama, and there's a tornado getting ready to happen. Currently unwarned, by the way. So
tornado about to form in Alabama?
All the way down to Bay Springs. I'm watching out. And hopefully, if you guys know anybody down here, everybody's attention is on Oklahoma and, Texas right now, rightfully so. Big bad things happening down there. But people in Alabama might not be thinking about tornadoes right now. We got to make sure that they are by letting them know, especially if they're down here between the border of Florida and Alabama near Bay Springs, Gateswood, and Phillipsville, that there could be a tornado getting ready to come through. And we'll surely have Brad holler at us if that is the case. Here's a picture somebody's sending us from Michigan. Let's add Michigan to the list. Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Florida, Ohio, Alabama, and now Michigan. Which, of course, we talked about Detroit earlier, but still unbelievable. More scary-looking clouds. This is definitely a rotating wall cloud associated with another one of these storms that's moving over there towards Lake Erie. Aaron sent that in.
Flood turnaround. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most of flood deaths occur in vehicles. Flood advisory in effect until 8:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time this evening. What? Flooding caused by excessive rain.
Remember, guys, you can send pictures, videos. You can tag me and stuff on Twitter. That's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it. I use Twitter as kind of like a news feed. I just go through the notifications. I know I just depend on you guys to tag me and stuff. And it works. You guys help me relay information. But if you send a novel report, make sure you also include your local National Weather Service as well. They need that information, okay? The only way to watch. That's awesome. Okay, so just to get everybody back up to speed, we currently don't have. I don't think we have the storm that produced the tornado up near Perryton. I don't think that it is currently still producing a tornado. However, it's still very dangerous. I'm going to check myself here, which, of course, this is in a radar hole. But it's hard to tell if this is still producing a tornado, but what it is producing almost certainly is 2.5-inch in diameter hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. And it's going to have the opportunity to produce another tornado here very soon. In fact, Freddie McKinney, Storm Chaser Freddie McKinney, is giving us a live view of that happening right now. You can see a new tornado trying to form there right in front of him. And Freddie is, I believe, on Highway 15 or Highway 83. Yeah, Highway 83, heading down towards Canadian, Texas. So this thing's got a lot of pull. It's pulling in a lot more air, and it's going to try to produce yet another tornado up here in Texas. And then down here in Oklahoma, we had that big couplet, big developing tornado near Harrisburg. And I believe it may have even produced a tornado there briefly, but like Riley pointed out earlier, the inflow has become overtaken. Now this is just a big blob. Huge blob. So we'll see what happens with that. 2-inch in diameter hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds. We do have a tornado warning for Waurika in Texas as well, though. Guys, we've got a tornado watch today for Dallas, Texas. And we are looking for DVD-sized hail.
When? Until 8:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time.
That's a real possibility today for over 10 million people. We've also got tornado-producing storms up in Michigan and Ohio. And we've got some crazy stuff going on down there in Florida.
Additional rainfall amounts up to 1 inch are expected over the area.
Checking in on our Ohio storm real quick. I don't know what's going on there, but I mean this is just nuts. I don't think we have a confirmed tornado here, but this is going to be one of the bigger storms you've seen in a long time. If you're in Port Clinton, Ohio. I'm talking baseball-sized hail, a potential tornado, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds.
Severe thunderstorm warning for Stevens County in southern Oklahoma until 6:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 5:43 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near.
Go ahead, Riley.
Moving east at 25 miles.
Hey Ryan, I'm looking at the VTAR data from the site of KFDR, which is Frederick, Oklahoma. They just reported a ground wind gust of 37 miles per hour. Now this is associated with an outflow boundary that's coming out of these storms. The other interesting thing as that the VTAR is putting out is the heat index right now is 106. So this is that is valid for a heat advisory.
Okay, thank you very much, Riley. Once again, the heat indices, the humidity, everything that's taken place today, despite the storms, is unusual. This kind of severe weather outbreak in this part of the world is not necessarily common in June. So, yeah, I don't know how else to put it, guys. This is just a little strange. But what isn't strange is the nature of these storms, okay? The tornadoes that we've seen today are doing damage. They're deadly. And, you know, a lot of people have lost their homes today. And the reason we are here is to try to help you stay ahead of that, okay? It's try to help you at least be prepared for it and know that it's coming. Because the number one thing that we've learned in doing this for a while is whenever we can get people prepared for something, even if it's a really bad thing, the less scared they are. And the less scared they are, the more likely they are to make the right decisions and come out on the other side unscathed. You can survive a tornado as long as you're prepared for it. It is very possible. It's also very easy to just not be prepared for it and like disregard warnings and stuff like that. But we're trying to get in front of that and make sure that doesn't happen as much as possible. Looks like we might have another pretty concerning area popping up down here south of Eureka in Oklahoma. So we'll have to watch that very closely. This is similar to kind of like what we saw earlier near Lawton, but this is likely a little bit less of an issue, as it does look like it might be a little bit more outflow based. But storms today, you can't disregard any of them. You got to pay close attention to all of them, and that's what we're doing today. I believe Carly and Andy, our normal correspondents that work with us here, are both having internet troubles today. That's why you're not seeing them. But we do have the great Sam, Riley, and Kyle in the background helping relay information. Oh, Andy is here. Okay. Okay. Sweet.
Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely.
Yeah, and we are talking about potentially doing something with the Y'all Squad in Carrington already. We're just obviously assessing the damage, seeing what's going on out there right now.
Avoid windows. If you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial
We have 6 warnings right now. We were up to 7 not too long ago. I'm going to remind everybody to please share the stream if you haven't already, to help us get this word out to more people. And then I'm going to go through each warning one by one. Okay. First of all, we do have some really interesting looking rotation out here on the border of Alabama and Florida near the coast. Brad Arnold is on it. There's no warning for this. However, there might be one soon. Okay. That's going to include Bay Springs, okay, in Florida. So make sure you're prepared for that. Let's fly over to Texas and take a look at this tornado warning, okay? We do have a tornado warning that includes Booker and Gaylord. That's going to be allowed to expire soon. And then we've also got one that includes Lipscomb and Barton Corners in Texas, okay? So make sure you guys are in your safe spots. And then let's go down here to Oklahoma. Duncan, Oklahoma, you're under a tornado warning, but that's probably going to be allowed to expire in like literally 2 minutes. And then really the newest tornado warning, the one that of greatest concern in my personal opinion, is the one down here near Waurika, Oklahoma, moving down towards Ryan, Oscar, and Grady, Oklahoma, right along the Red River there, north and east of Wichita Falls. This has the very real potential here to produce a tornado. Now, here's the crazy thing, guys. When we started this stream today, this was the area that we were most concerned about, okay? Right along the Red River and just to the south. Because whenever these storms make it into that area this evening, when the sun starts to set, we're going to see a significant increase in the lower level jet stream, and these storms are going to be able to rotate even more than they are now if they can remain somewhat discreet. I don't see any signs of huge multicellular messes just yet, especially down to the south. So if we see new cells pop up down here, it could be bad news for this area. And then on top of that, we do have one more tornado warning to tell you about. Up here near Oak Harbor. We've got significant rotation up here near Port Clinton. So make sure you guys are taking shelter over here in Ohio as well. That's going to be in Ottawa and Sandusky counties, Ohio. I've got Andy and Riley wanting to talk. Andy, go ahead, and then Riley.
Hi, Ryan. I am here. I did make it after all. Sorry about being gone for so long, but my first intro into this stream is that, and I think Riley's going to try to say the same thing, which is why we're fighting over the lights here, is that Waurika tornado there in Oklahoma is on the ground. Definitely a viable correlation coefficient drop, a tornado debris signature that is co-located with higher reflectivity, so we can confidently say that this is a tornado-producing storm despite being a radar-indicated warning right now. So this is hopefully headed into rural areas. You can take a look at its track through Jefferson County here and away from Highway 81 and Sugden and Ryan, but eventually will go closer to Grady, Oklahoma. So if that warning is upgraded, that's your reason why.
Okay, thank you, Andy. Riley, go ahead. You got anything?
A little better than a CC drop.
What?
Chaser confirmed this tornado is on the ground. Hunter did see it. It looks like it might be back up on the
A new tornado warning has been issued.
It is pretty far back from where it is, so it's a little hard to say.
Okay, I was going to ask, is Hunter's location correct on GR right now?
Your phone's on my road.
Okay.
Correct, but he
You
does
know that,
have
okay.
Okay, sounds good. First of all, thank you very much, meteorologist Andy Hill, for the update, and Riley for the update from our chasers. Guys, we've got another serious situation developing here just north of Ryan, Oklahoma, as it does seem like we have a tornado on the ground here near Waurika, okay? We've got the velocity couplet right there, correlated with a CC drop, correlation coefficient drop. This tells us that there's debris in the air, and that's obviously there because of a tornado. We know that because the hook and the velocity couplet line up perfectly with it. So, what does that mean? Okay, we're going to come back over here on this map. You can see it better and give you a little bit of a better idea as to what towns are in the path. And here's the thing, these tornadoes today have been unique in that whenever the updraft bases really form and they really start like going in these storms, they almost become stationary and then eventually occlude up into the forward flank, and then a new one comes down and the cycle happens again. I don't know if that's going to happen this time, but let's hope it does, because this is a pretty rural area out here to the south and east of Waurika. If it does continue on a southeastern trajectory like the parent supercell, though, Oscar and Grady and anybody along the Highway 32 corridor between Ryan and Orr in Oklahoma is in the direct path of a pretty significant tornado. Okay, so we got a tornado on the ground here near Waurika, Oklahoma, in Sugden. That's just to the east of Highway 81, and we're getting ready to see that move a little bit farther to the east. We've got a lot of reports coming in. Whenever through Perryton as well. We literally, all of us together, we watched this tornado go through the town of Perryton just moments ago. We've got some really bad news coming in right now about some of the things that have happened there. Obviously, we've got a lot of damage, and then also we're starting to hear about some injuries and stuff as well. So we'll keep you updated on that, but we're also trying to push everything forward and keep you updated on what's happening next, including now the National Weather Service is letting us know that this is confirmed in Oklahoma, and now we also have a confirmed warning for the Ohio storm as well. So let's go check back in on Ohio because, I mean, goodness gracious. Port Clinton, we've been talking about you for a while. Hopefully everybody over here is in their safe spot. This is a mess on radar, but we do have a confirmed tornado over here just off of Lake Erie between Oak Harbor and Whiteman's Grove, or Whitman's Grove, moving parallel and south and east, or mostly east, to Highway 80 or Interstate 90 between Whitman's Grove and Bay Shore. If you're anywhere over there, you got to take shelter now. This is, once again, Ottawa and Sandusky counties in Ohio. And how did this emergency management confirmed a tornado along the Ottawa-Sandusky County line near the State Route 19. So that is right in this general vicinity, and that's going to be moving east or slightly to the south and east. So take shelter. Once again, even if there's no tornado that it impacts your specific neighborhood, if you're in Port Clinton, Danbury, Sandusky, any of these places in Ohio, this is going to be one of the bigger storms you've seen in a long time up here in Ohio, with 2-inch in diameter hail and 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. So make sure you are prepared for that. Back down into Oklahoma we go. We're taking another look at our tornado here to the south and east of Waurika. And we've got, once again, another area of interest popping up here as this thing is just sending out multiple little protrusions for us to look at. This is an area of interest. Pretty much anybody that interacts with the southern side of the cell, as this big blob moves off to the south and east, anybody that comes into contact with the entry way for the way that this storm receives its inflow is going to be under the gun today for a pretty damaging storm and a big tornado. So as this moves off to the south and east, everybody in the path of it down here has the chance of seeing a tornado. It's not all going to come from the same hook. There's going to be, occlusions and recycles that happen over and over again. But yeah, if I'm anywhere along the Red River today, especially to the east of Wichita Falls or from Wichita Falls points east, I am being hyper weather aware as we've got the potential for multiple tornadoes to come out of this thing. We've still got a tornado warning back here in northeast, the panhandle, northeast panhandle of Texas as well. And that's going to be also capable of producing baseball-sized hail near Lipscomb. And this storm over here near Wichita Falls is starting to get its act together a little bit more as well. So we'll watch this as it approaches Wichita Falls. But as of right now, no immediate threat for that general vicinity. Let's go back to Alabama, where we have another storm that we were watching pretty closely not too long ago. Looks a little bit less interesting now, but still got the couplet. There's still a little bit of rotation right there. So we'll see if Brad can give us an update here soon. I know this area is having some problems with cell service. But for right now, we're going to kind of hone in on our Oklahoma storms because this is definitely the biggest deal right now. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Ryan, I'm just monitoring Freddie McKinney's feed, and in the last 10 seconds or so, they're starting to have a lowering come out of the cloud, actually too, so it does look like we're going to have another potential landspout.
Okay. Thank you very much, Riley. As Freddie McKinney's been on top of it today in Texas, just really showing us the nature of the atmosphere today. There's just a lot of spin out there. Every little part of the cloud is spinning, and we're seeing that through multiple different avenues. We've had a damaging tornado. We've had a couple damaging tornadoes. And we've had a lot of land spouts, a lot of funnel clouds, a lot of wall clouds today. So, anytime you see that, especially early in the event, it's really not a good sign. Because as long as there's any bit of a discrete supercell still floating around out here this evening when the sun starts to go down, we are going to see a rapid expansion and increase of our low-level jet, and I do think the tornado threat's only going to go up. Now, even if we don't see any discrete cells, we're going to see a lot of spin-up tornadoes tonight, and we're going to see that DVD-sized hail, potentially, and up to 90-mile-per-hour winds with any storm that forms here along these, supercells today. So that's why we are live right now and trying our best to keep you as updated as possible. We got something going on here. Hold on, wait. I want to pull up Brian's. Wow. Once again, Brian continues to show us some live damage updates from Perryton. This is the town that we just saw get hit by the tornado not too long ago. Looks like the farther he goes into town, the more extensive this damage becomes. So this is almost certainly something that we're going to have to utilize the Y'all Squad for, okay? So for those of you who don't know, we just started a 501c3 nonprofit organization just for moments like this. Whenever towns get hit by tornadoes, we've got a bunch of people watching. We would love for everybody to try to pitch in just a little bit so we can send some of our storm chasers there and apply immediate disaster relief. It's an official 501c3 charity. It's tax exempt and all that stuff. Go to the y'allsquad.org if you want to help us do that. We'll be there as soon as tomorrow, literally, on the ground helping people. The y'allsquad.org, there's a link in the description. Any amount you want, every bit helps. And it's all going to go to this and anybody else that gets hit today. Okay, so back to the radar, because we've got another situation unfolding here near Loco, Oklahoma. Look at this. It's something you don't see every day. Supercell intensifying inside of the top of the forward flank of another supercell. And, we do have an increasing area of rotation happening right here in Loco, Oklahoma. So we could be seeing another very large tornado forming here near Loco. And Hunter's pretty close to that. So let's see if we can get an update from Hunter. Hunter, man, the storm just to your west looks pretty gnarly. What are you seeing there?
Flooding of water in urban or other areas is occurring or is imminent. Additional details at 4:51 p.m. Central Daylight.
As soon as we'll get an update from Hunter. That looks like it's going to be a pretty serious situation. Now, we can see some of the structure of the storm.
Yeah, I just looked at radar again. It looks pretty dang impressive. I'm just set near Loco. I see a pretty massive wall top and no tornado yet. It's obviously really shot in the rain, but I'm really hoping it doesn't drop down into that Loco.
Yeah. So, like, even if there was a big tornado right now, we wouldn't know, even looking directly at it right here, because if you look at the radar, this is completely rain wrapped. So this is the parent supercell. This is the area where the tornado would be, right in there. You can see the embedded nature of the supercell, just like that. That's where your tornado would be. Okay, but Hunter, even from Hunter's close vantage point, you can't see through the rain enough to actually see what's going on the ground there. So our best bet is going to be to pay attention to the correlation coefficient here and see if we get something going on with debris. Okay, could be just very broad rotation. Let's hope that continues to be the case. But, yeah, I mean, things are absolutely popping off right now, despite the fact that we're not even into the peak parameter space moment for this event, okay? So, once again, thank you to everybody that's tuned in right now. If you haven't already, please consider sharing this. I think we're doing a pretty good job of relaying the warnings, if you agree. The only way we can do any better is with your help. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Share us. Okay, you got my permission. You know, take a little short video of what we're doing, put it on TikTok. Let people know where to come for nonstop, you know, wall-to-wall, non-interrupted, no commercials ever, weather coverage during this severe weather event. Our goal is to do this in a way that is easier to consume than TV, so that everybody feels comfortable joining in. And there's nothing, our only goal is just the rapid relay of information, right? Nothing else is distracting us. So thank you guys so much for being here. And we've got another tornado warning. Another tornado warning for Ohio. So this one does include the town of Sandusky, Ohio, York, Castilla, Bloomingville, and all these places, okay? So it's really, really hard to tell exactly what's going on here from the radar, because we are in, not really even in a radar hole, we're just in a pretty polluted area as far as the what the radar can see. But the overall structure of this does look concerning. We might have a little bit of an actual supercell here, and this could be producing a tornado right now near Whitman's Grove and moving east towards Castilla and Sandusky, Ohio. Please take shelter now. A huge storm. This is not your average Ohio storm, okay? This is going to be a big one. So make sure you are ready for that. Make sure you are ready for it.
At 6:05 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located 5 miles west of Velma, moving east at 35 miles an hour.
So yeah, if you're just now tuning in, this is live severe weather coverage. We've got tornado warnings currently in Ohio and Oklahoma, but not too long ago, we did have tornado warnings in Florida. We had a tornado warning in Michigan. We had a tornado warning in Ohio, Oklahoma, and Texas. And we are expecting to see more of those as we go through the night, and we expect things to get even more intense as well. So make sure you are staying tuned here, and we're going to relay that stuff to you as much as possible and as quickly as possible. With the help of Sam, who's got some news for us. Go ahead, Sam.
This thunderstorm is capable of producing
you're muted, Sam.
weather, including extremely large hail, destructive straight-line winds and tornadoes. Move quickly to a safe shelter, such as an interior room, a bathroom, or closet.
Right there, the couplet doesn't seem any more organized as this lobs off to the south and east. So let's hope that holds off for a little bit. And we don't have any big-time problems out of that. However, we do still have this appendage hanging off the storm right near the border of Texas, near Grady. That's probably going to, which can be just as dangerous as a tornado sometimes. And we've got new storms now firing off here near Wichita Falls, which will probably cause us problems here in the near future. And then we've got this very unique situation occurring in Ohio, where we also have a big supercell up here producing tornadoes. We had a confirmed tornado here. Now we're looking at a radar-indicated tornado, but the town of Sandusky, Ohio, is getting ready to get absolutely slammed, slaughtered you know what I'm trying to say. The tornadic and that part of the storm specifically, but you need to be taking shelter anyways, because this is where we're going to see some of that potentially golf ball to baseball size hail. And once again, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, which is something that we don't see every day in northern. Additionally, severe storms and potential tornadoes down here in the Panhandle, Florida as well. But we do expect to see some more things